I'm John Byrne with Poets and Quants.
Sandy Kreisberg, the HBS guru.
We're here for another round of handicapping your elite MBA odds. And today we have the kind of candidate that you often get at a great business school, right? I would say you do.
He has a white ace, as we used to say.
Yeah.
He's a white male. He went to Michigan, which is a good place for guys who are smart, but not super smart.
3.8.
3.8.
Good GPA.
760 GMAT, and then he's had quite the career.
Indeed. He did 2 years of strategy consulting, sort of with the Monitor, LEK, Booz kind of group.
Yeah, so we'll call him that gold minus.
Yep. A year and a half at Coca-Cola, PepsiCo, or Disney in global corporate strategy.
Yeah, those are all great companies.
And then 2 years as an equity analyst for a
attention.
multi-billion-dollar hedge fund.
He's an equity analyst at a multi-billion-dollar hedge fund. The founder, he says, often appears on
Bloomberg
and CNBC.
Yeah.
And so the founder's a media business personality. And his specialty is grape hanging, which is a phrase from my youth that means he's creating companies that the hedge fund should short. So he goes around looking for sick companies, particularly secretly sick companies.
Right, because people shouldn't know that they're sick.
Right.
He knows that they're sick, and he knows the price is going to go down,
right.
So his hedge fund can make a bundle.
You can short that. Right?
That's exactly
so
right.
That's quite a line of work there.
And his target schools, Stanford, Harvard, Wharton, Columbia, NYU, all round one. But before we get to him, let's just talk about the general case.
Public service announcement here.
Okay, general case.
I am of the belief that if you're a white male and you're in banking, finance, private equity, hedge funds, VC, like this guy, white male in banking, finance, hedge funds, you really should apply to Harvard Business School in round one. I believe, based on what I've heard and results I've received, that Harvard Business School has a bucket for guys like this, and when the bucket is filled, they close the bucket and they don't care about what comes in later. It's not like they say, oh, we've got a lot of people here. Let's take half of them and see what else comes in round two. They don't work that way. They eat, they're full, and it's over.
So, and you speak from experience because you have clearly handled a number of people like this in round two with equally good or better stats have been rejected. Right?
Yeah, yes.
Okay.
And I haven't heard from a Harvard admissions officer, but I've heard from people who claim they've heard from people at Harvard that this is also the case. Take that for what it's worth. Look, I don't know whether
Trump does that a lot, you know.
Yeah, look, that's fine. Take it for what it's worth. If you're applying to Harvard Business School, you're a white guy, or even a white woman, and you're in finance, apply round one. You've got nothing to lose. Just make sure it happens in round one.
And this guy is a round wonder, as we would say.
This guy wrote to us
Yeah.
over the summer. We're just getting to it.
Yeah.
So I assume this guy has applied in round one. I certainly hope so.
And after all, he would have only applied to Harvard anyway because all these other round one deadlines are still forthcoming.
That's true, too.
Yeah. So what do you think?
This being, well, tell them what date it is. They don't know.
Oh, well, it's in the week of the Stanford round one deadline.
Today
so
is
we're September 16th.
15th, 16th.
Yeah,
like that.
exactly.
Stanford
Right.
is the 19th.
Yeah. So what do you think? Does he have a shot at Harvard? Let's go there first.
Yeah.
Good shot.
Well, he's competing with people who go to schools like Michigan, some of them who go to schools that people might say are better than Michigan. He's competing with people who also have 760 GMATs and might have a cleaner work history. That is to say that their first job was with Goldman Sachs and their next job was with a primo feeder private equity firm. And the question is, how many of those guys are there?
Right.
And, are there enough better than this guy where Harvard's going to say, well, we like you, but no thanks.
Yeah.
We've got our 30 guys like you, and they're all a little bit more interesting or better. That's the question. I don't think that's the case. I think this guy
He's got more than enough.
I think this guy should get in, particularly if, you see working for the hedge fund, the question, the serious question is for this guy is why does he need an MBA since he's got what most people consider a post-MBA job? And that's a question you might face on an interview.
Well, maybe he wants to be, instead of an analyst at the hedge fund, an associate. Move up the chain, and an MBA is often the road to that.
Good, yeah, that's possible. Good
Right.
point. Yeah.
I mean, the fact that he's with a well-known multi-billion-dollar hedge fund carries a lot of weight, and I actually think because he's from Michigan, and those jobs are often elitist jobs, and he got it from Michigan, is kind of a good sign in his favor. Nope?
No.
You'd rather have him from Princeton?
Yes.
Okay.
There are people from Michigan. Michigan is a good school.
Great
He was
school.
at the business school there as an undergraduate,
Yep.
I believe. Goldman, Morgan Stanley, yada, yada, yada. The four major firms that hire undergraduates on Wall Street, and McKinsey, Bain, and BCG all hire a lot of people from undergraduates from Michigan. Somehow this guy missed that boat. I don't know why.
His goal, incidentally, which we did not mention yet, is to actually start his own hedge fund.
Yeah, well, can't argue with that.
Nope, can't. And that means he's going to have a lot of money to donate back to whatever school accepts him, if they accept him and he loves the place.
Yeah, but that's not going to tip anything.
Yeah, no, I'm not saying it is, but it's a nice little benefit for the school that accepts him. All right, so Harvard, you're saying his odds are 40%?
Yeah, 40%.
Okay, Stanford less because they accept
If-
your...
Okay, no. Stanford's interesting.
Okay,
There's nothing, well, he says he mentored
Mentored.
an inner city teenager.
okay, here's the stuff you really like, that he co-organized and managed a stand-up comedy show to raise money for cancer research.
While in college.
Right.
So, yeah, that shows leadership. That's a good thing, but it's not a Stanford. It's not the question is, does this guy have a Stanford X factor? Does he have powerful, politically correct, impactful deal? Okay? The answer is no. Okay?
Yeah. He wasn't victimized, and he isn't really helping victims in
Right.
any kind of significant
Well
way.
put. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's no victim history here,
Yeah.
which interpreted expansively is kind of what you need for Stanford, particularly, happy germ, rich white guy from Michigan like this guy, and 27,
Although I will tell you what he has that Stanford likes,
760 GMAT.
and beyond that, hedge fund job. Because if you look at the career stats at Stanford, the biggest single chunk of people who are earning the most money go into hedge funds and PE firms, and obviously those people have experience in PE and hedge funds before they go for their MBA.
Hedge fund is nothing special at Stanford admissions. Finance, yeah, I agree with you. If you look at the other side of the pipe, the coming out, the crap that comes out instead of the crap that comes in, if you look at the crap that goes out, a lot of it's in hedge funds, okay? As to the crap that comes in, they're just open to the same bucket of finance types.
So Stanford, 20 to 30? If you say Harvard is 40,
Yeah, I don't think this guy's getting into Stanford.
Okay, 20.
This guy is the kind of guy Stanford likes to reject for just being too white. And, Stanford's not in favor of stand-up comedy. That's another thing they're opposed to. I'm serious.
Okay, and then Columbia and NYU and Wharton we have.
Yeah.
Wharton,
obviously
Columbia
would
would
love
love
this
this guy.
right?
Absolutely love
Then
him.
it's just a matter of convincing them why you want to go there.
So for Wharton, we're talking 40+%?
Yeah, 50%.
And Columbia as well, and obviously
Yeah.
NYU as well.
Right.
There's no question that you'll be going to one of these schools.
The interesting
The only
question
question is it Harvard or Stanford, really? Right?
No, it's not. I'm happy to eat my hat here, and we actually have the hat over there, but I don't think this guy's getting into Stanford unless he's got connections,
Right.
which he may, given that he's very high up in the, global pecking order here. I don't think he's getting into Stanford. I think his chances of getting into Harvard are good, but not certain. He's competing with a lot of other high white male performers very similar to him. It almost becomes a question of supply and demand. I mean, that's exactly what it is. So it becomes a question at Harvard of how many guys like him applied this year. Harvard's got guys like this coming out of their pockets. And I don't mean to demean this guy either.
No. All right. We will see you on campus somewhere.
Yeah. Do me a favor, buddy. Write back and tell me what the outcomes are at Stanford and Harvard.
Yeah, it'd be really interesting to hear.
Yeah.
So this is John Byrne with Poets and Quants.
And this is the always happy and optimistic Sanford Kreisberg from HBS Guru. Dot sick. Right.
There you go. We hope to see you on your road to an MBA. Thanks for watching.